Let's talk about something fundamental to our success, our happiness, and yes, even our fitness. We are the sum of the five people we spend the most time with. This isn't just a motivational quote, it's physics. It's how culture works, how behavior spreads. We don't rise to our goals, we actually fall to the level of our environment. So the question isn't just who are we spending time with? The real question seems to be who do we need to become to attract the kind of people that will push us forward? So we become the culture that we're a part of. If we're surrounded by people who settle, then you're going to settle it. If you're surrounded by people who challenge the status quo, you'll find that you start thinking much, much bigger. Humans are wired for belonging. And we really do mirror the behaviors, the attitudes, and the expectations around us. So it really is the five closest relationships that make the most difference. And so when we think about this from a fitness sense, if your five closest relationships normalize skipping workouts, eating junk food, and staying comfortable, guess what? That's your culture now. And here's the scary part. You might not even realize it. It's just how things are. So let's talk about fitness. People assume getting in shape is about willpower. It's not. It's actually about culture. If you're around people who talk about discipline, who train consistently, who view food as fuel, you're not struggling with motivation, you're simply adapting to the environment. And what's the alternative? Well, it's you're fighting this uphill battle. You're trying to build a new habit while you're surrounded by an old narrative. And that's exhausting. It's why so many people quit. So if we change our culture and everything else becomes easier, then we find ourselves in a new lifestyle and we start to find that we have more intention on a lot of things that we do in life. At least that's been my experience. So building an intentional inner circle, how do we take control of this? How do we curate an environment that actually lifts us up instead of drags us down? So just a couple things that I jotted down that I've been thinking about. The first and foremost is we need to audit our five. Who do we spend the most time with? What do they normalize? Second point, we need to find a new room. If you want to think bigger, get healthier, or push boundaries, then you need to spend the time with the people who are already doing that. The next point is then about action. We need to make bold moves. And that's where it can make a ton of sense to join a coaching group, to hire a mentor, to engage with people who expect more for themselves. And from you, that is a key indicator that you need to look for with any of these kind of groups. And before you go into that group, it's really important that you create boundaries. If someone's pulling you backward, you don't have to cut them off, but you need to be mindful of their influence for sure. We all have days, right? So the culture that you build around yourself isn't an accident, it's a decision. And so just a couple things that I want to leave you with. So really this quick discussion is just that the people that you're surrounded with will either pull you toward your best self or keep you locked in place. So what's it going to be? Like, we really are designing our lives. And here's the thing, this just isn't a fitness topic. It's about your career, your family, your creativity, your impact. If you want to do more work that matters in this life, to show up fully, to play full out, to create change, you need to have an ecosystem that really supports that. And that's why communities, masterminds, and coaching programs absolutely work. They really do create a culture where your best self isn't the exception, it's actually the expectation. So if this is resonating with you, share it. I'd love to hear some comments. Most importantly, take action, because nothing changes if nothing changes. We have the Zenith Mastermind group that we created over 5 years ago, and that culture then moved me to create the culture of XFit. And so if there's an interest in any of those two, please reach out. I'd love to unpack what this culture does to hold you to a higher expectation, to constantly move you into a higher state of being and a higher state of how you're enjoying life, because you absolutely deserve to live your best life. And I do too. And I want to surround myself with those kind of people. So that said, remember, your fitness success is never owned, it's rented, and the rent is due every day. Make it a great day.